here in the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me here with me live this Friday evening, as always. And thank you so much for joining me here, and not only live, hope you're watching me on YouTube and Bullet.com. And the phone number, ladies and gentlemen, is, if you want to call in to connect to me, Dukect, is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, 92417. Once again, this call ID is 92417 if you want to be calling me live right here on TalkShoe.com. Also, if you go to TalkShoe.com, you can download the TalkShoe Pro 2.0 app, where you can just go in, click to Shoe Phone, click there and just connect, and then booyah! You are online, and you can be talking to me live here on the Dukect Lounge. So, that's all, and what have you. Anyway, let's get on to the big news, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this week on Monday Night Raw, we all know what happened. And if you don't know by now, Jerry the King Lawler suffered a heart attack on Raw just past Monday. And it happened, and it was probably one of the most shocking things I ever heard. I was just so worried and so just fragile. I never saw or experienced that. And, when the stuff happened, when it first happened, I didn't know what was going on. It was one of the most scariest things I ever listened to. Michael Cole, I don't know how he did it. He somehow, when Jerry collapsed, he not only tried to hold him up, but he actually continued calling the match, which I don't know what happened. I don't know how he did it, but he did. That's just so much props to him. Anyway, Jerry Lawler, the whole thing when he did collapse, like I said, scared me. And when it happened, they put him out to the stretcher, stretching out back, and I have to say, I was big ups to the EMTs that were there. And if that would have happened, if he was in a hotel room, I don't know if he would have made it, or what have you. I don't know what happened. If he was, I don't think it wouldn't have been any good or what have you. I don't know if he would have survived. Let's see. Another thing that really happened when I was like all the tweets and everything else. Do people pray for Lawler and all that type of stuff? I was out doing Monday Night Riffs at the time over at Utopia, what have you. And let me tell you, man, it was just, like I said, one of the most scariest things I ever had to just look at live, what have you. And when Michael Cole, who still gave updates, I was just so worried that he was going to say that update that Jerry Lawler has passed away and what have you. But by the end of the show, we heard that Jerry Lawler was breathing on his own and his heart was beating on his own. I had the biggest sigh of relief ever. I was like, man, dude almost was gone. And the days kept going. Every day I looked up to see any type of updates, and they all were positive. And to the point that now he just recently did a tout or what have you to say that, hey, he's doing great. He's it's just he had all the he's doing a lot better, and hopefully we might see him again. I don't think he's going to come back to Night of Champions or whatever. I don't see him coming to Night of Champions. In fact, I don't see him. I think at best, earliest would be TLC. We'll see him back, but I would not be surprised if they can bring him back, say maybe at the Royal Rumble, just to him to be sure. And that's the one thing. And that sort of thing. And that's what everyone's, that's what I think I would do. But, I'm not him, and I'm not WWE, so maybe it might be best for him to come back to commentating, but I don't know if he wants to go back in the ring. Even the doctors say he wants to come. It's okay for him to eventually come back to the ring. I hope he does. I mean, I don't want to be mean or what have you, tell someone what to do with their life, but I don't want to really, I don't want him to die in the ring like just I don't want him to just basically be like John Henry, just just go out and just die doing right there, dying, trying to keep the whole story with John Henry, him just keep working, and then bam, just collapse and dies, trying to beat them as machine, what have you. But there's also other wrestler. I can't really think of his name. I think Miss Wah. Let's see. Here it is. This is the person I think I was looking for. Mitsuharu Miswada. Miss Awa. You don't want to. I don't want him to be like that. Is that he died in the middle of wrestling. He actually, the story is that Miswada was, if I'm mispronouncing the name, I apologize, that he tag team with the wrestler Ghost Shiozaki against the GHC Tag Champions at the time, Akaos Sato and Bison Smith at Hiroshima Green Arena in a title match. After taking a belly-to-back suplex from Sato, Miswada lost consciousness and was taken to the hospital and was pronounced dead in a hospital at 10 p.m. The cause of death was a severe, supposedly, was later speculated it was caused by a cerebral spinal cord injury that caused a cardiac arrest. But Miss Awa's family invoked the Japanese law to requested that police not publicly release the official cause of death and that sort of thing. And that was one of the most worrying things to me was this heart attack created by him being in a ring, because it just rings to Jerry Lawler was in a wrestling ring. I think he was wrestling independently in Aruba before he did, and before Monday Night, came back in Monday Night Raw, then did a tag team match. Very, very, I'm just very worried. That's why I just don't want to. Just don't want to have anything like that happen again. I don't want anything like that happen in front of in that type of way. People will say, "Oh, it's just because of this, and for wrestlers, this, that, and the other," and that sort of thing. That terrifies me, because I have really criticized pro wrestling a lot, and I know a lot of you listeners have. Well, I don't want it to go away. Not like that. And I think if Jerry Lawler would have died, and maybe it is selfish of me, or what have you, I think it would have probably killed not only WWE, but it would have probably killed off probably most of pro wrestling in the United States. No joke. And if it was connected to, because of his wrestling ability, because of not wrestling, but connected to him wrestling, it would have really been a really bad, just all horrible all around. But that didn't happen. Jerry Lawler is alive. He's well. He's recovering, and that's just. Like I said, really good news, great news. Right now, he's actually eating food, and hopefully, he's going to go back to Memphis or what have you. Chill out there. Hopefully, he will relax for the next 2 or 3 months, get some exercise, that sort of thing. Then eventually, maybe, hopefully by TLC, that's the earliest I would bring him back to commentary, or Royal Rumble. I think maybe the latest I think he should be is at the WrestleMania, that sort of thing. Just have them just pace themselves. WWE should just pace themselves. Anyway, yeah, and by the way, Michael Cole should never be heel again because dude really showed his class and dignity as anyone should have. Anyone could to be a part of. The man just really handled himself so well that honestly I can't cheer or boo him anymore. I'm serious, dude. Michael Cole really gets that much more respect from me. I already respect him. What have you? Again, I'll probably call if he did something stupid, but honestly, I just can't really boo him anymore, and what have you. Anyway, we're going to take a break, and next up we're going to be looking at something more lighter notes or what have you. We'll be looking into the WWE's latest pay-per-view, Night of Champions. Anyway, we'll be right back here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you once again for joining me, Dukect. And we are back live here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me. The phone number, as always, is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. Thank you so much again for letting me be on the show. Let me do this, and let's get back in that Joyce Adams here. Let's get into WWE Night of Champions. Let's get into it. All right, now let's look at WWE Night of Champions live from Boston. Okay, let's look at the first match of, ladies and gentlemen, of the evening. Pre-show. Let's look at the pre-show match. Which, funny thing enough, I actually got this from WWE.com. There's a little picture. But you are looking at, if you're looking at the stuff from YouTube and Blip, is that Terrio Cesaro is holding the Raw Championship. Yeah, they gave him the Intercontinental Championship. I know they fixed it and what have you, but seriously, if you don't know who is your U.S. champion, why even have a U.S. championship? What's the point? Seriously, what is the point of actually having someone who is supposedly one of the most prestigious mid-card championships in WWE? In fact, no, in WCW or what have you in pro wrestling history, if you don't know who it is, are you just going to make something completely and utterly stupid? I don't get that. I don't get it at all. And you know what? I don't really care about Antonio Cesaro U.S. Championship because they booked him to be a complete afterthought, and that's what he is, an afterthought champion. Same with Santino. I mean, all they use the U.S. Championship for is to push their other main event guys who don't really need the rub, to just have them, oh, wow, he beat the U.S. champion again. So why do we need to look at these guys as huge favorites? Why do we have to look at these guys as, as guys who are over or what have you? It just seems to me that these guys, when you face these guys and have them lose, say the United States Championship or Intercontinental Title with the Miz, what have you, face them against these main event guys, and, well, they lose and everything else, and you wonder why no one cares about them. If you're going to have them lose or what have you, why not? Why you have them on the show to begin with? But anyway, whatever. Anyway, all right, he's going to face mystery guys, what have you. I don't care. Cesaro would win, but no the WWE, they'll probably have him lose the belt. Next up will be the WWE Tag Team Championships, the Giant Penny Belts, as I like to call them, as R-Truth and Kofi Kingston take on the new number one contenders, Daniel Bryan and Kane. And I gotta say, honestly, I think this was a bad idea. I really, because honestly, these are supposedly two face teams, what have you. The crowd likes both men, and now you're gonna have them really just have them win the tag team champions again. This really just points out how the WWE doesn't really care about the tag team division. And don't get me wrong, I like this team, but to me, they honestly are good maybe for the chase or what have you. I mean, these guys have no real. It just seems like it's just pouring a storyline around, and the tag team champions are just there for the ride. They're just not really any but more than a plot point. I would not be surprised if they have the troubled partners angle with Kane and Daniel Bryan, what have you. But I'm tired of that. I'm just like, you know what? The tag team division will probably get, again, shuffled to the background. And these guys, Kofi Kingston, R-Truth, I don't know what they're going to do. My hope is this, that I really hope that, you know what, they make this into a three-way with Titus O'Neil and Derek Young, the primetime players. I can have them win because I would like to see Kane and Daniel Bryan chase because honestly they're basically a face team. And these guys are a face team. They're two face teams with no real issue or what have you. It's just fighting for a belt, which I don't have no problem with. But it's just, the primetime players should have won a SummerSlam. I feel like they lost because they want to get punished by for the AEW situation, which is stupid. You don't punish people by proxy, what have you. But it just seems like it just really is just lazy. I know I like Daniel Bryan and Kane, but I feel like they should have just at least made it into a triple threat of primetime players as tag champions, or what have you. Supposedly, because I think primetime players are really good, and I just wish they were, featured more. I like them, but I don't know. Just that's my personal opinion. Anyway, moving on, we have our next match that has no championships. We have Randy Orton faces the Money in the Bank winner, the World Heavyweight Champion Money in the Bank winner, Dolph Ziggler. The Money in the Bank briefcase is now on the line, so I don't know why this match is even here on Night of Champions. But then again, last year they had a last minute standing match. They had no championships, no real consequences or what have you. It was just basically Triple H, stealing the thunder from CM Punk. Surprise, people. But surprise. Anyway, next up we have a Divas match. Layla versus Caitlyn. I don't really care. That Divas belt is completely worthless. The Divas division don't really care, so who really cares about it? Next up, we have the match will be at least semi-tolerable. My personal opinion. Next up, we have a fatal four-way Intercontinental Championship match, as we have The Miz taking on Cody Rhodes, Rey Mysterio, and, for the heck of it, Sin Cara. I have to say, this match I really don't care for. It might be good, and even for the Lawl's point of view, and Sin Cara might do something crazy and just completely fail at it. It makes you, every time I see Sin Cara, seriously, as much as I like him, I think he is a good wrestler. At times like this, I think he should have took the Daniel Bryan route or whoever did that. They should just have him in developmental for at least a minimum a year, to have him work the same style the WWE is, and then have him build himself up. No one would have been in mind that. Hey, could have him vignettes training and going to the WWE training or montage, what have you. Have him have FCW stuff and have him look at the matches and everything else. And have him at least learn the basics of English as well, so supposedly he doesn't know much English, which I think it should be. I think that would be actually pretty good. Something that he needs to, grasp when he gets to the country, at least somewhat, because we're primarily an English-speaking country. Anyway, but honestly, as for winners, I don't really care for. I think Cody Rhodes is going to probably win, since Miz has done absolutely nothing for the belt. It just seems like he's just, I don't know, just nothing. There's just a lot of just nothing, and I think Cody Rhodes is going to win the belt. He should be, Money in the Bank winner, but hey, you can't really have any, that's life for you. Anyway, let's move on to our next matchup, ladies and gentlemen, as the feud that will never die. Sheamus will face against Alberto Del Rio. I have no idea why the WWE keeps using this feud. I'm serious. This guy, Sheamus beats him clean on Money in the Bank. He beats him with nefarious means. That stuff should have been over. And by the way, the reason why the whole thing started with Money in the Bank, he actually ripped up Superman #1. Del Rio they actually got to have him rip up Superman #1, not the real thing, by the way, what have you, just not like a copy would have you. Del Rio rips it apart, and that was actually trying to get so heat on him, which is sad. The last place he's actually can get heat is probably at least Mexico. I think the last time I heard him get heat, I think was Mexico. That's what the last time I saw him get heat, any type of heat. And Del Rio, it's not his fault. The dude can go. Alberto Del Rio is probably one of the best guys in the ring. He can go. He and Punk can do great. He and Punk, him and Cena, what have you, has done really good stuff together. Same, like I said, Sheamus and Alberto Rio. Like I said, Alberto Rio can go with the right talent, but Sheamus, for whatever reason, doesn't work. It doesn't work. I have no idea why it doesn't work. It just, again, doesn't really work. They have no chemistry or any type of, I don't know, maybe the third match is on, like they did with Randy Orton. Those guys didn't have any good chemistry or what have you, but the last match they had, Sheamus and Randy Orton, was good. But I have a little hope for this match, but with the whole stipulation you can't use the bro kick, it doesn't matter, because Sheamus has at least what? White Noise, he has the Irish curse backbreaker, he has the that razor edge move or what have you. I don't know what he calls that. And now he has a cloverleaf. Well, who cares? But honestly, the dude is a walking finisher machine. Anyway, Sheamus wins, or Del Rio wins, then you have those that come in and just knock him, just have him win a belt from him. That'd be nice. And then we finally get to our main event. The main event, the WWE Championship, has John Cena taking on one of the most longest reigning WWE champions of all time, CM Punk. This match, I actually do. I like these two guys. These guys actually have really good chemistry, and I really am psyched for this match on that base. But as the storyline is, it just seems a little forced. I feel like Punk is the whole wasted motion of CM Punk not being a main eventer. Not being in main events is, well, honestly, just WWE's the WWE's this booking of Cena being more important than the championship. I mean, that's the problem. And honestly, I would lean more to CM Punk, even though Cena had a good promo on Monday Night Raw, what have you. But it just seems to me that you know, the WWE does not know how to book its main event. It doesn't know how to do it. It doesn't know how to book competent champions and such, other than John Cena, which is a shame, because I think there's a lot of guys who can really be that good. But that's the problem. And until they do, they're never going to really get their, you know, they're not going to get to their best sister. They always are not going to. They always seem to just fall back on Cena, but Cena's not going to be there. In fact, CM Punk not going to be there either, so they better have against a good bench. At least they have someone with Daniel Bryan or have you. But I know the Rio's going to probably retire at 42, and Sheamus is like 35. So they better start respecting the mid card, because if they don't, well, you know, no one's going to really care. And no one's going to really care about their championships and what have you. No one's going to really care or have any connection to them. And that's what you have to do. You have to start having the people start caring about these guys, and, well, the WWE doesn't really do that well. But, like I said, this will probably be the best match of the night. I think this thing will be the best match of the night. Anyway, that's it for me for this evening, what have you. Anyway, this has been one heck of a podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Anyway, it's Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.